Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now something crazy is happening with the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, which is causing the price of ETH to pump into this significant area of resistance, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off with the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and over the last 1 day, we have finally seen a 3-day candle close above 29,500. And so technically speaking, this is one confirmation signal for this breakout to the upside above 29.5k, but ideally we still need to see some more confirmation, such as a weekly candle close, for example. And of course, what would be even better is if we see a candle close above 30,000, like a weekly candle close above 30,000. Obviously, that would add even more confirmation for this breakout to the upside. And as for the next significant price targets to the upside acting as resistance levels, I'll be looking at this 50% retracement level, which is sitting at around 32,500 approximately. But anything above that level, if we actually see a breakout above 32.5k, then taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool on the linear scale, and this places the 38.2% Fibonacci level at around 36,000, just under 36,000, which should also be acting as a significant level of resistance. And it's worth mentioning that this was also significant support in the past. And so that simply makes that 36k price level even more important. So once again, the next significant levels of resistance to the upside are sitting at around 32,500 and around 36,000 approximately. But anyway, now taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now we have already seen multiple daily candle closes above that 29.5k resistance. And of course, on top of that, as I've also said over the last few days, we have invalidated this previous bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. So at least as of right now, we are obviously still looking more bullish than bearish, as I've basically been saying this entire time. And as for support, I'll be expecting this previous area of resistance to now act as new support in case we see a bit of a pullback here. And once again, this price range is quite a large price range in between 28,000 to 29.5k. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, this right here is on the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart. And right now, the price of Bitcoin is currently recovering again after this short-term cool-off that we've seen over the last 1 to 2 days or so. And once again, I also mentioned in recent videos here on the channel that we're likely going to see a bit of a short-term cool-off here in the price of Bitcoin, because if you're looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, this reached extremely overbought levels. And so basically what this means is that the price has gone too far to the upside too quickly, and we need some time to cool off in the short term to help reset this RSI back down towards more neutral levels. And in case you're new to all of this, both sideways price action and bearish price action can help cool off the RSI back down towards more neutral levels, which is what we saw right here. But as of right now, the RSI here on the 4-hour time frame is still currently sitting in overbought territories, which basically means we have somewhat limited room to the upside in the imminent short term. And even if we do see a bit more bullish price action in the imminent short term here in the price of Bitcoin to create a new higher high in the 4-hour candle closes, we do have a potential bearish divergence forming in the shorter term here on the 4-hour time frame, because obviously we created a significant high here in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, which would be a high that is hard to beat, which means if we do end up seeing a higher high in the price action, that is still likely going to cause a lower high in the RSI. And of course, in that case, that would be a bearish divergence if we do confirm a higher high in the candle closes, that is. And by the way, in case that does happen, these bearish divergences on the 4-hour time frame usually last for around 1 to 2 days or so before they essentially wear off and we potentially continue on with the larger trend at play, which is obviously still a bullish trend, even if we do see a bit of a pullback. And as for significant support here on the 4-hour time frame, we have this price range in between around 28.6k to 29k acting as support here on the 4-hour time frame. And now if you're taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the weekly time frame, right now the Bitcoin dominance is still fighting against this area of resistance, which is sitting in between around 47.5% to 48.5%. And obviously, as you can see here, over the last 1 to 2 days, we did see a wick to the upside in the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame, but no confirmed breakout, at least as of right now. So of course, while the Bitcoin dominance is still testing this resistance, it is still possible we could see a rejection from this resistance. And in that case, if we do end up seeing a confirmed rejection with multiple red weekly candle closes, for example, then in that case, we could simply be repeating history, because time and time again, when the Bitcoin dominance has reached into this area of resistance over the last 2 years or so, we have seen multiple rejections. And each of these rejections, each of these downturns in the Bitcoin dominance are basically what's known as an altcoin season, because if the Bitcoin dominance is going down, that means Bitcoin's market share going down. That means altcoins gaining market share, meaning altcoins on average outperforming Bitcoin. And once again, this is still a possibility moving forward if we confirm a rejection from this area of resistance rather than a breakout to the upside. And now, one of the potential reasons as to why we've seen such a large move to the upside in the Bitcoin dominance over recent weeks is potentially due to the recent Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, which basically means ETH stakers can withdraw their staked ETH. It unlocks a whole load of ETH. And so leading up to this Shanghai upgrade, which happened over the last 1 day, a lot of the market has been preparing in advance and basically pricing in the potential risk of those ETH stakers unstaking their ETH to dump that ETH on the market, which would of course suppress the price of ETH. And so once again, in recent weeks, this has potentially been priced into the market, causing the Bitcoin dominance to rally and outperform against ETH. But now that the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade is here, that is not what we saw. We did not see a massive unlock, at least as of right now. And in fact, we're seeing the opposite happening. We're seeing a large increase in the number of ETH staked. And of course, as I explained in more detail in my last video on this channel, we were likely going to see this happen because of course we have that withdrawal queue, which means not all of that ETH is unlocked all at once. So even if every single ETH staker wanted to unstake their ETH all at once, that simply cannot happen. Once again, as I explained in more detail in my last video. And what I also said in my last video is that this upgrade will actually prove to be a longer term bullish thing for the price of ETH, because now that ETH staking withdrawals are open, that technically reduces the risk to stake ETH, which ultimately results in more ETH being staked. Because if you're getting somewhat similar rewards with now reduced risk, of course, that's going to result in more ETH staked. And once again, I explained all of that in more detail in my last video on the channel. So if you missed that video, definitely check it out. But one thing I didn't actually expect is the speed of this whole process. I did underestimate the speed of the stakers coming back in. And instead, as I mentioned in my last video, I was expecting this process to take a little while longer to play out, essentially take maybe a few days, weeks, or months before the stakers really start flowing back in again. But no, within a matter of hours, in the same day of the Shanghai upgrade, we ended up seeing a massive inflow of ETH stakers. In fact, right now, at the time of recording this video, far more ETH is currently being staked than what is being withdrawn, which is crazy to see. And of course, this was ultimately expected eventually, but once again, I just didn't expect this to happen so quickly. But of course, as soon as it did start to happen, I made sure to update you in real time over on my Twitter. So once again, if you don't already follow me over on my Twitter, make sure you're doing that to get these extra real-time updates throughout the day. And in case you're wondering, the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. And now, just before getting into the Ethereum chart, first quickly letting you know about this massive Ethereum trading competition where there's up to 450,000 USDT to be won. And basically, all you need to do in order to enter this competition is simply click the first link down below this video in the pinned comment or in the description, which will take you to this page right here. And then you simply just click this register now button. And then after that, once you've registered into the competition, all we need to do in order to potentially win a share in this massive prize pool is simply trade Ethereum over on Bybit. And so if you're trading Ethereum anyway, you might as well do it on Bybit in this competition to potentially win a share in this massive prize pool just by trading Ethereum or any of these other coins listed on this page. And so once again, I'll provide a link to this page right here with all of the rules and information about this in the description down below. In fact, it'll be the first link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But anyway, now taking a look at the Ethereum to US dollar chart. This is on the 3-day ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is testing an extremely important area of resistance, which I have here on the chart in between around 1980 to 2040. And now if you're taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from all-time high down to the 2022 bottom, here on the logarithmic chart, we have the 50% retracement level sitting just above $2,000, more specifically around 2060 to 2070. So once again, that is also an important level of resistance just above $2,000 that the price is essentially about to run into right now. So obviously in the shorter term, we do have quite a lot of resistance ahead of us, but if we can see a clean breakout above around 2.1k with confirmation, then we could likely see a significant bullish movement to the upside, because here on the logarithmic scale, the next Fibonacci target is of course the golden pocket sitting in between around 2.5k to around 2.6 to 2.7k. And now if you're taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool on the linear scale, this places the 38.2% Fibonacci level at around 2.4k, which could also be a significant level acting as resistance. And obviously in the past, as we could see back here during early 2022, this also acted as significant support, making this 2.4k level even more important. So once again, in the immediate short term, I'm focusing on around 2,000 to 2.1k as a significant area of resistance. But if we can see a clean breakout above 2.1k with confirmation, then we're likely heading up towards around 2.4k before potentially heading closer towards around 2.6k, as I mentioned earlier. And now if you're zooming into the daily time frame, right now, once again, the price is running into this important area of resistance based on this previous high. And as for support, in case we actually see a rejection, I would expect support in this previous area of resistance acting now as support, sitting in between 1770 to 1820. And obviously in terms of the trend here on the daily time frame, once again, as I've been saying, basically this entire time, we are still looking bullish. We are still in a bullish trend, forming higher lows and higher highs. And so at least as of right now, even though the price is running into resistance, we have not actually reversed the trend. We are still looking quite strong here in the trend. And this can also be said about the short-term trend. If you're looking at the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously we have been trending in the bullish direction, as I also have been reassuring over the last few days, because we've been seeing constant higher lows and higher highs in the price action. And on top of that, multiple times over the last few days, the price has defended this area of support, and the RSI on the 4-hour time frame has also defended this area of support. But right now, even though the trend is still bullish, the 4-hour Ethereum RSI is currently sitting in overbought territories. And obviously, the last couple of times this has happened, we have seen a bit of a short-term pullback, basically cooling off the RSI, giving us more room to the upside later on. And so right now, considering the price is running into significant resistance on the larger timeframes like this daily chart and the 3-day chart, and also considering that the 4-hour Ethereum RSI is currently overbought, I would not be surprised if we do end up seeing a bit of a short-term cool-off. Once again, either a sideways consolidation or a bit of a short-term pullback like these previous times. But once again, even in that case, even if we do cool off here in the shorter term, that does not necessarily change the trend, because we are still trending in the bullish direction, forming higher lows and higher highs. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top top left shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.